Hi there, this is Krishna, Lahari, Aakula, and welcome to my show. In this episode, I'll be interviewing the founder of Digital Media Club TV, Mr. Patrick Abeck. Welcome to my show, Mr. Abeck.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on your show.
What is the history of Digital Media Club TV?
Well, we started back in November of 2016, so this is our anniversary, actually November 4th. Tomorrow is I think it'll be our 7th anniversary. And what we started with is a program called Basics of TV News Reporting. And we went around to local high schools. We're based in Northwest Ohio, and the high schools had a digital media club program. We kind of hooked up with local schools, and I had a local newspaper at the time, and we were kind of converting over from a newspaper to video, and kind of one thing led to the next, and we found out that a lot of universities had digital media clubs. So that's kind of how we started with a program called Basics of TV News Reporting, where students would go out to local events, primarily charity events like a fundraiser of maybe a 5K run or golf outing or community festival. And the students would interview some people. They'd have a mic flag. They'd have their camera and their tripod, look just like a 6 o'clock news reporter, and learn how to kind of edit the whole package up. And it was really focused a little bit more on editing and kind of packaging it up because we wanted it to look like a TV news report. And then COVID hit, and we couldn't go outside. There was no events to cover for over a year. And so what we looked at is how CNN and Fox News were delivering the news. And they were doing it by putting their hosts inside their homes and putting up a green screen, having a microphone, getting the lighting right. And so we thought we would do that, and we've never switched back. It seems like our program, which is now called Introduction to Digital Journalism and Media, really hits the high points of what parents want students to learn from this program without necessarily learning editing, because a lot of students kind of know that anyway.
How would you describe this program?
Well, as far as a category of kind of extracurricular, it's considered an at-home extracurricular club activity. And there's school-oriented extracurriculars. It could be band and theater and athletics. And then there's a whole world of extracurriculars that are not associated with a school. And there's entire athletic leagues and national organizations and really everything under the sun. Oh, I'm out of focus a little bit. And so we're considered an at-home extracurricular activity. And really, when COVID hit, a lot of lessons, and you could get music lessons and debate and just a bunch of different online activities were created. And so that's what we fall into, an at-home extracurricular club activity.
What is this course curriculum based on?
Well, one of the things we transitioned over when COVID hit was we saw that a lot of universities were offering a degree called Digital Journalism and Media. And that was journalism universities and institutions that maybe used to have more of a broadcast journalism degree or more newspaper oriented kind of old school journalism, and they were converting over to digital journalism and media that encompasses everything on digital, from blogging to hosting your own show, TV network. Everything kind of encompasses that. And so that's what we wanted to do, is kind of keep up with the times, what universities were doing. So if they have a degree in digital journalism and media, we want ours to be called Introduction to Digital Journalism and Media, so it kind of flows with that.
Tell about the two building blocks of this program.
Well, the two building blocks of this program are kind of the two building blocks of journalism in general. One of the unique things about this program, and probably journalism in general, it's not based on, if you look at math, that's first grade, second grade, third grade, high school, it progressively gets harder. And one of the things, once you learn these two building blocks, it's just a matter of doing them over and over and over again. But especially with interviews, every time you do an interview, it's something new, it's something exciting, you're learning something new. So it's not necessarily that an interview gets harder to do, it's the fact that you just want to learn more things. I was talking with some students once, and we were talking about, if you were to go to a foreign country, or we have a lot of students that visit India in the summertime. I said, if I were to go back to India, I know nothing about it. If I were to go back as a journalism and interview 12, 15 people, and I were to do a series on maybe a politician and how different, a restaurant owner, and just interview different people, I could totally learn about the country in a short period of time just by being a journalist and interviewing people. And I think that's what we want to be able to do, is have these two building blocks, where the first one is reading a news report, And then the second one is conducting interviews where students can just, the world's the limit as far as what you can learn when you start interviewing people.
What do parents and students say about Digital Media Club TV?
Well, they say that students really gain a lot of confidence. And one of the things that yesterday, I have 4 daughters and they're all involved in athletics, and my oldest daughter just graduated from high school. But we were having a meeting and the basketball coach is going over, all the procedures and that. And one of the things that, and this is the varsity basketball coach said this, she says, I find it shocking how many students can't have an adult conversation with me. How many students can't look me in the eye, ask me a specific question, and just, have an adult conversation. So she said, one of the things in basketball, of all things, that we try to have adult communication where students know how to address an adult and know how to do that. So that's what this program is. One of the aspects is all about is students are interviewing adults on a regular basis. They're having adult conversations and they get confident in their communication skills. It really does no good to have a child that does very well academically, but seems very shy, passive, and kind of mousy, is not assertive and doesn't communicate well. So we want to have students that have advanced in academics, but also have advanced communication skills to really take them where they want to go.
Do students attend classes?
You know what students do? We have classes throughout the week. Part of this program, students can attend 1 Zoom class per week, but then we have a host of a library of videos on our private Facebook group, and students eventually learn how to do reports and interviews on their own, but they can always attend 1 class a week, totally different times. And then from there, they can do extra credit assignments on their own to get their course credits for graduation and their kind of certificates of achievement that they'll earn.
Can students receive diplomas?
Yes, they can. They can receive certificates of achievement and diplomas. A certificate of achievement is when you hit 10 episodes, 50 or 10, 25, 50, kind of in increments of 25. And then a diploma is when you would get 50 course credits, and that's usually over a year. We print a diploma up and mail it off to you. It looks like a high school or college diploma. A certificate of achievement is something you receive more often, and those are digital that gets posted to your club page and your community page.
Do students receive credits for school?
You know what? They don't receive credits for specifically school, but what we find is students receive course credits for this program, and then that can help them. They also receive community service hours. So when a student will do something for a nonprofit, which in essence is volunteering for the nonprofit, they'll get what's called community service hours. And I have some students that have well over 100 community service hours. And when you start applying for scholarships, jobs for college, those are all things that on an application look really good. So we hit a lot of those high points that count for going off to school, but not necessarily specifically for, passing high school or things like that.
Thank you for being my guest today.
You're very welcome. Well done.
This is Krishna Lahari Aakula reporting for Digital Media Club TV.